All right, we're ready for Barton. Thanks for joining us. We have head coach Chip Hester, Jackson Parrish, running back, and Joshua Hightower on the defensive line. Chip, would you like to open us with opening statements?
Absolutely. What an exciting time to be in Conference Carolinas. We've had the fortune to be able to start a program from scratch here the last couple of years. We played 4 full seasons. A fifth one was the COVID year. So we were able to make some history on Barton's campus, and now we get to make some history and be a part of Conference Carolinas football. So it's a really exciting time. College athletics these days, and college football specifically, is such a crazy time, and so college athletics, there's a bunch of change, and so I think the thing that we want to do is embrace the change and embrace this opportunity. Just like most schools around the country, roster management is different these days. Everything is different, and we've had coaches changing and things like that. But the thing that we have talked about as players and coaches is that gives us a new opportunity. And I think the challenge for us as a team this year is to make sure that we become the best team that we can be. And we want to be the best version of ourselves. And that starts with the type of culture things that we want to embrace, and putting the team before yourself, playing with great effort, being a great teammate all the time, on and off the court, on and off the field, and being a champion not only on the field but in the classroom and in the community. And so the reason I brought these two guys, they're awesome players, but Jackson Parrish and Joshua Hightower are great examples of guys that kind of have what we feel is the highest kind of standard, and that's they're servant leaders, and they want to help other folks, and so they're involved with a team impact project that we're doing with a young man in Wilson, and they jump in and they do other things for other people. And so the football part is great, but we want to, and our big mission statement is to develop young people, and so that's what we want to do. And we want to compete at the highest level. We want to be the best we can be on the football field, but also off the field. So exciting time. This is the start of another season, and so it gives us another opportunity, and I can't wait to get started.
Absolutely, Coach. You helped found this program at Barton. Describe how you've seen it grow from year one to now year one in Conference Carolinas.
Yeah, I've told people this has been an adventure, because Erskine was the same way. We started and immediately COVID hit, and so that was another kind of hurdle to cover. But it has been such a great experience, I think, for the young men in our program and the community. Wilson has just completely embraced us. We had a really good season. We were 6-5 that first year, and we were the grand marshals at the Christmas parade, and so that tells you what kind of support we're getting in Wilson. And so I think the thing that's been fun to see is we've now got some guys established, we've got some graduates, and now we've got some new guys that are taking over those leadership roles. And so we're trying to build a program. We don't want to just build a team, we want to build a program.
How do you build that program?
I think trying to recruit guys like this. I think what's hugely important to us is we want guys to compete on the field, but we want them to compete in the classroom as well. We want to compete with themselves to be the best version of themselves. And so these guys, we talk about it all the time with anyone that comes on campus, and I tell them about my priorities. It's faith, it's family, it's education, and it's football. And we want to bring guys in, and we've got guys in the transfer portal, but we want to bring guys in that kind of share those values, and I think that's how you build a great program. And so by bringing in quality individuals and these guys, we want to be a developmental team as well.
Absolutely, and you touched on it a little bit in your opening remarks with amazing servant leaders. How are you raising up senior servant leaders in all of your athletes?
Yeah, what we do is we put a big emphasis on it, and so we have these little competitions. This past year we started something this year that was new for us, and we had we broke up our team, and so we had a defensive lineman, an offensive lineman, a running back, a defensive back, and we had about 12 different teams, and we would have little competitions. So we'd have tug-of-war competitions. You get a point for that. We started 100 points, and if you do a volunteer activity, you get an extra point. And so we had one of those things that we wanted to put some focus on doing things for other people, and I think that's something that these guys have done a great job of kind of embracing, and something that we want to really push going forward.
How have you seen those activities impact the culture of your team?
Well, I think that is probably the reason that we talk about what we talk about, and I think faith plays a big role on our football team. We've had some really impactful leaders that have just graduated. Jaquan Lynch is now coaching at Campbell University. We've got Darius Williams, Jackson was talking about yesterday, and other guys. They did student athlete led devotions on Thursday nights, and we've had a bunch of different churches and different people in FCA kind of really encourage our guys and build them up. And so those are the kind of things that I think a coach can't do. That's something that's got to be student led. And so obviously we try as coaches to encourage those things, but we've been really lucky to have the right kind of guys that start the foundation.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Jackson, I want to move on to you and kind of just piggyback off that servant leadership. Is there a veteran on the team who mentored you last season and kind of just helped you adjust?
Yeah, D. Will was the main one that really did really kicked that off for us, and like he was inviting everybody to FCA, inviting everybody to Bible study, every practice, that like literally the entire week was just letting us know like this happened this day, this happened this day. And since he's graduated, it's really been a lot of younger guys honestly stepping up into that role. So like myself, David Woodward, DeRay Lynch, and Jack Welch. Jack Welch is a veteran. He's been here for 2 years, going into his junior year. I believe it's his redshirt sophomore as well. So we're really trying to step up and take that leadership role that D will really set the standard for. And we're going to step up and we're going to do our best to fill those shoes. But of course, I mean, if we're going to move in a way, it's not really going to be us moving, it's going to be God moving. We're going to just keep praying and just have discernment, just keep moving at it, working at it, and we know that he's going to be moving in a big way.
Absolutely. How have you stepped into that leadership role yourself?
Last year, it was a lot of growing pains as I was talking with them and talking with a lot of the other athletes and coaches. Yesterday, I was telling them it's like it was really just me working my way up the depth chart. And once I realized that the coaches and my team had trust in me, that's when I was able to trust myself. And that's whenever I was able to continue to start speaking up in these different ways. And that's what I really kicked it off in the spring. I think I stepped up a lot more in speaking up during the workouts, speaking up during during spring practices, and helping mentor some of my other teammates. Our running back room last year coming in, I believe we may have played a total of maybe like 12, 15 college reps. Before that, of course, Jordan Terrell was there the year before, and he was really, really good. He took the bulk of the reps. So we had a lot of learning to do. So we learned from each other. We worked with each other. And I was able to step up as I got more experience during the season to help out some of my other running backs like Tobias Joyner and Corbin Kerr, which we were guys that first went into that program for the first year last year.
Tell me about that trust that you built with your coaches. Was there a moment that stands out to you that was like, they trust me so I know I can go and execute?
Yeah, I think really just the Friday before our game at Newberry College. It was so I was told, Coach Vincent gave me a call and told me that I would be able to start off that game. And he was like, this is your moment. Like, you've been working for this entire season. You've been working this during the summer and spring leading up to this season, and you really get this opportunity. And, I mean, he was pushing me to really get reps in practice and pushing me the entire time leading up till then. But whenever I first got that opportunity to step on the field first as a running back, that's when I realized, like, okay, they really do trust me. And that's whenever I did make those strides from having like 20 to 50-yard games to 100-yard games and getting multiple touchdowns in games and everything. And just having that trust in myself allowed me to play more freely instead of overthinking a lot of things.
Absolutely, and you made a big impact, 536 yards, 9 touchdowns. What allowed you to find success so early in your career?
I think it was really just what Coach Vincent, my running backs coach, was always telling me. He was like, you're overthinking it, because I came from a wing T offense and I didn't have to think at all, and I was like really just running straight into like linemen's backs, and they were not very happy with me during camp whenever that happened. But from there, it was really just like learning to think and learning to like see things before I actually like make something happen. And from there, it was like all I was thinking was like, all right, think, and then it was like all right, you're slowing yourself down at this point. So then it was like you had to really like blend it all together. What we were learning about yesterday with Cricket Lane, she was telling us, like, one of the things she was saying, take what we give you, chew it up, spit out the bones. And that's what it was kind of telling us, is like all like the thinking was really like I was trying to take it all in, but it was like you don't need all of that. You got to take what you really need, and then you can imply some of the things that I learned in my wing T offense in high school. I mean, I was recruited here to play. Coach trusted me to recruit me here and play for him for a reason. So he didn't just like see it and want to change me completely, which I thought in the beginning, but he wanted to just take what I could from them and then implemented what I was already doing.
That's a great perspective to have. And then the last one, I got a fun one for you. Show me your go-to touchdown celebration.
Oh, really? It's just me being in my trying to be strong in my faith and trying to reflect any glory that I get to God. Always just gets my hand pointed up to the Lord. I think one time my friend Keno Jones, he told me, he was like, Jackson, you score today, you got to hit the LeBron like Punisher. So that first touchdown against Guitar, but that's what I did. And it was pretty exciting. That was a fun game, and it's fun to really do things to like your teammates and family, and say like, hey, do this for me, and I do it, and they're like, yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
We've got to see that LeBron touchdown celly this year.
All right, we'll do it.
First game, we got to see it. Thank you. And Joshua, moving over to you now, I want you to touch on that same servant leadership as well. Was there a veteran that kind of spoke into you last year and has helped you grow into the leader you are now?
I think I'm going to have the same exact answer that Jackson had in Darius Williams. Just spending some time with him, like he said, Bible studies and just those conversations with, about fighting through adversity. That's something that I saw very early coming into my college career, and that's something that Darius Williams experienced throughout his entire college career. And we kind of shared that relatability as far as fighting through adversity, but also keeping God at the helm of our minds, keeping our faith being the biggest thing that we strive for, and that God and our faith being the thing that allowed us to fight through that and persevere through that adversity.
Absolutely. You touched on adversity early on in your college career. How did you overcome that so early, and was there like a learning moment, anything that you're bringing with you now?
There's absolutely a learning moment, and I say all the time that the person that you see here today is because of the storms that I went through and the adversity that I went through. I would say that God is definitely the reason that I was able to go through those things and come out on the other side of truly a better person. I would say, like Coach Hester said, football is one thing. The football part of it is great, but I would say that mentally, emotionally, and all other facets, that adversity truly was able to push me to be a better man as a whole and also a better football player.
Absolutely. And you're going into your redshirt sophomore season. How do you set the tone for the younger guys that are coming into that D-line room with you?
Our defensive line room is very deep. It's very packed, and we got a lot of guys that can play. So I just, I'm a guy that I'm a vocal leader, but I try to live a very disciplined and ordered lifestyle, just so that the guys that are around me, the guys that I spend the most time with in my position room, they see the things that I do when I don't see them looking at me. They see the things that I do in my everyday life, how I carry myself, how I respect others, how I respect myself. Most importantly. So I would just say, just being a stand-up guy, ordered guy, disciplined guy at all times, just being that leader of example.
Yeah, I love that. And looking back last season, you posted a season high 7 tackles against UVA Wise. What clicked for you in that game, and how do you carry that kind of impact into this year?
I would say confidence, and just becoming myself and learning my identity as far as a collegiate football player. Just speaking about the adversity and just me going through so much last season was very pivotal for me mentally, and then just all the reps that I got last year, it was just like that. I feel like sometimes as a football player, there's just that one moment where it kind of clicks for you, and that one moment where you see the game differently, and the game slows down for you, and you start to pick up on little things and little nicks and knacks. And I will also say my teammates as well. That game, one of my teammates, Khalil Muhammad, he was in the game with me, and that energy that he brings. And I'm a firm believer that you can't be great without the greatness of others. So I would say that my teammates and them being great allowed me to be great. So it's not just about me. It's not just about my performance, but it's about us as a collective, as a defense, as a team.
Absolutely. Talk about the versatility in that defensive line room. It's packed.
It is. We got those heavy guys, those run stuffers. We got some speed guys, some power guys, some hybrid guys. So whatever situation we're met with, I feel like we have all the tools that we need to interchange and to mix and match that defensive line to get the assignment done that we need to get done. And I would also say that there's a sense of selflessness. There's not much pride, there's not much arrogance. We all have the same mindset at hand. So, you know what I'm saying, whenever somebody has to come out for a different guy's skill set to come in, there's no hate, there's no jealousy, there's no envy or things like that. It's all love in the room.
Absolutely. And I got a fun one for you too. What's your Sally after a big stop?
I've been a subtle guy, but I can get kind of riled up. Sometimes I go with like Jackson, you know what I'm saying? I give praise to my Lord and Savior, but if I'm really riled up, I might stomp and yell. that's just all of the adrenaline pumping, just being in the moment, enjoying the moment. I'm a big family guy as well, so sometimes I'll find before every game I find my family in the stands and I wave at them. So
awesome.
After I make a play, I try to find them and kind of point to them and just let them know that I'm always thinking about them.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, thank you all so much.
Absolutely, thank you.
This is Eric from NC Football News.
Hey, Eric.
How are you doing today?
Good.
All right, excited about a new season. Just talk about you guys carved out a recruiting niche right away. You brought in some players. One that went to Tampa Bay, and you got Jordan as an All-American. Just talk about your recruiting philosophy. How do you? It seems like you've done a great job of identifying talent and the culture guys that you want. Just maybe talk about your recruiting philosophy a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. We're you always talk about to guys, we're preparing for life after football. That's what we always talk about. When you're at college, your number one job is to get your degree, but also a lot of dreams are on a football team, and to have some of those dreams to have been fulfilled. And I mean, to not only to make an NFL roster, but the 53-man roster for Cameron Johnson is so great. And Jordan Terrell, all the accolades he got, and now he's playing professional football. It's pretty special. And I think the thing that's so valuable for our guys to see is Cameron Johnson got to us at about 5'7" and about 145 to 150 pounds, and now he's 5'9", 190 pounds and jacked up. And so those guys, the work ethic that they showed and the development that they were able to accomplish during their time at Barton is huge for our culture. And these guys didn't play with those guys, but their legacy has been stamped. And we had some other guys, but I think that kind of goes to it. Both of those guys were local guys, or semi-local guys, and they didn't have a lot of scholarship offers, but they were guys that were the right kind of guys. So we talk all the time in recruiting is we're looking for a good fit, and our fit is not going to be the same as other schools, and that's fine. We want guys that have the right kind of fit. These guys, if you've heard those guys talk, those are the type of guys we want. We want selfless guys that kind of have that team mentality. But there is good football in North Carolina and in our region, and we have to, as coaches, we've got to be good evaluators. Jackson right here played in the wing T. But we saw the skill level, we saw the things, the the grit and the determination and the physicality. And the guy sitting to my left, Hightower, he and his teammate Stancil, the way they played the game, the effort. There's some things that are kind of non-negotiables for us. We want guys that play with great effort and great fundamentals, and so then if you've got those basics, then we can develop the rest.
Right. Maybe both the guys, Jackson, Joshua, can talk about why you chose Barton, and then also maybe some guys that you see around you, that aren't here today that are ready for a breakout this year. Some guys that are on your team.
You want to go first?
I'll start it off. To answer your question on why I chose Barton, I was coming in. It's always been faith, family, education, and football. And when you go through that recruitment process as a recruit, you go home and you talk to your family about what may be the right fit as well. And all the values and everything that Coach Hester and the coaching staff talked about was something that definitely was the biggest factor for me and my family to make Barton a choice. I'm very close to home as well, so I get to keep that family value very closely to me. I get to see my family a whole lot, so it was just a full circle moment to chase my dreams of playing collegiate football, to be able to be around and take care of my family, and also be around some like-minded people that share the same values as me. Some guys that I would like to acknowledge for breakout seasons, I would like to acknowledge Keno Jones, our starting linebacker, number 15. Look out for him. I would say the whole defensive line room, we coming. The whole defensive line room, we coming, and we're creating a new identity as far as the boys on defense. So just speaking for our defense as a collective, I would just say watch out for the effort, watch out for the intensity, watch out for the physicality, because the identity of Barton football defense is going to be a whole lot different coming up this season.
Yeah, and for me, as far as why I chose Barton, I did have a couple of other programs like the D1 level and everything, but I really chose Barton because of my faith and what's important to me, as Josh said, and as Coach Hester said, like the values that are there. And really with Coach Vincent and the way that he was recruiting me, because he did most of my recruiting for the most part, and he shared about who Coach Hester was as a person, and also the fact that they wanted me for more than just an athlete. I feel like a lot of programs, they would give you the offer, not talk anymore, or some would just check in. Sometimes they're really just asking about how you're doing as a player. But Coach Vincent, even I remember a specific time whenever I was sitting there in the parking lot of my high school after school, and he was just talking to me about how my relationship was with my girlfriend, how my relationship was with my family, how my relationship was with the Lord. And really just him deciding to really really have these conversations and really find out who I was as a person, that was so much deeper than just the football aspect of it. And he set the tone to really show me who everybody was at Barton. And I was able to see that that wasn't just Coach Vincent, and that started with for the coaching staff. It starts with Coach Hester. He doesn't just recruit well for the right players. He recruits for the right coaches on his team, on his staff. So he really wanted everybody has that same standard. Everybody has those same values, and that's really why I'm here in the Wilson community. The Barton community really reflects that well. Some players that I'm really excited to see play this year. One, Jalen Neal was the first person I thought of. He came in with me from Bartlett Yancey, and he had an incredible spring. He played really well in practice a lot of times, and he has a lot of and he's really understanding the playbook now. That was probably his biggest holdback, was really just him understanding all the plays and everything, because as a receiver you don't have to think. You have to think a lot more than like a running back. For myself, I just got to see the right gap, hit it well. So that's really how I was able to understand it a little bit faster. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for all of our offensive line. As you or everybody may know, we lost 4 offensive linemen up front, but I'm excited for Robbie as he's coming in. He was playing a little bit of center, a little bit of kind of tight end last year as well. I believe he was wearing number 53, and he got in the rotation a lot, but now he'll be able to start and him, and I know JB. We already know about JB, so I ain't got to talk too much about him. I know he's going to be the anchor of that offensive line. Then all of our freshman guys, so they're going to be stepping up in a big way. I'm really excited. We didn't know exactly how it was going to be in the spring, but they stepped up in a huge way, blocking really well for the running backs. And, of course, you probably know Al Lee starting the last 3 games. I'm excited to see how he will be for an entire season. As we really got to grow together in those last 3 games. I'm excited for what's to come with him as well.
Right. All right, very good. You guys were picked 4th. I don't know if you pay attention to that, or if that, put that on a bulletin board or anything like that, or maybe just talk about playing in this conference this year for the first time.
Yeah, I can answer that a little bit. I think as a coach, you're always. I mean, that's one of your jobs is to try to motivate guys, and you don't have to say anything. You just put that on the board and say that's where we're picked. And the great thing about athletics and football specifically is, it doesn't matter what people vote preseason. It matters what it is at the end. And so, what I think our goal is to be kind of focused on the next play and not think about the big picture too much. So I think obviously that's a source of motivation, and I think it's going to be a great league. I've got so much respect for these coaches. We've played against several of these teams and kind of know what they're all about, and got a great non-conference schedule as well that's going to really challenge us. So I'm anxious to see how our guys answer the challenge. They've mentioned some guys. We've got some guys hopefully coming back from injury. Defensive lineman. He mentioned Bailey Caraway, but he's a guy that transferred in from Coastal Carolina and just had a rough year injury-wise, and so he'll be back. And Joshua Jackson mentioned some of the guys on offense, but I think we probably have as deep a wide receiver core as I've ever been around, and we've got size, really great size, Jacobs and Smith and Williams, and we've got great speed. Kavari Hightower and Jaden Lee is coming back. He's been a track and football athlete. He was out last year, but comes back. And Millette, Tyquez Millette, great player, and they're Neal. So we've got some real depth at some of those positions. And Jalen Brown, he mentioned, is our right tackle, and he's that guy that's played a lot of football. And Chip Hester has been a starter as well at various times. So we've got some guys that need to step up in some new roles, but I'm excited. I think we've got an opportunity if we'll come together as a team, and that's I think. That'll be the determining factor.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Good luck this season.
Thank you, Eric.
I'm going to ask one question to get on the record. You guys are the visiting team in the inaugural Conference Carolinas game up at North Greenville. As a founding member also of Conference Carolinas 95 years ago, talk to us about the importance of Barton being in that first game. And it was just coincidence how it worked out in the schedule, but I think it's a cool matchup, and we'd love to hear your perspective on being a part of that first game.
You start? You go.
Yeah. Some things that people always say is history finds a way of repeating itself. So, like you said, it was just coincidence that, we started it off way back when, before we were even thought of. And then we starting it back off now, years later. So I would just say very excited to get back to football, period. Ready to put in the work, and North Greenville is an opponent that I haven't seen, so that's another fun thing. What the thing that you guys have did with these 2 days. Yesterday was a very explosive day mentally for every single player that came from every single school in this conference. I would say that we all took something out of it. We were all very into it, and just being able to see the guys that I met on these 2 days, just to see them on the field and be able to compete against them, that would be very exciting also.
Yeah, it's really exciting for me because with those first couple of games of Virginia State and West Virginia State, we don't really know those guys or know anybody from those teams. But and coming in before today, I didn't really know anybody from any of the teams in Conference Carolinas. But being able to have that mutual respect now for 2 of the leaders on their teams, and really being able to I learned from their coach and I learned from their players as well. really about some of the stuff that they are, some of the stuff they hold high in their program. And I'm really excited to be able to compete with them as well as any of the other teams in Conference Carolinas and really be able to have that respect. I've heard a lot of times, like, whenever I was a captain in high school, the officials would always tell us, like, all right, you're a captain, you got to make sure hold your team accountable and make sure you have that respect for these guys across from you. But all we had was that handshake before the game. Being able to spend these nearly 24 hours with these guys and really get to know them for who they truly are was a really good opportunity, and I'm excited to be able to compete with them.
Yeah, I'll add that being at Barton for 6 years now, I've gone to a bunch of ball games, tennis matches and volleyball games and so on, and basketball games and baseball games, and so we've been able to see some of the rivalries over the years. North Greenville and Barton have had some great baseball games here recently and things like that. So we're excited to be part of that, and I think it's good for our school to be part of the conference that everyone's with. And I think anytime you go and you play college athletics, one of the things that you want to do is you want a stage. That's one part of the deal. And to be in the first conference game is again another opportunity. There are going to be a lot of eyes on that game, and I think all of us coaches in the conference, we know we've got a bunch to prove. We've got a bunch to prove, and the opportunity to play for a championship is there for all of us. The opportunity to make the playoffs, which is a huge accomplishment, is right there in front of one team, and so we're all going to fight like crazy. And we have played against Coach Garner when he was coaching at Limestone, and so great respect for him, his career obviously, and what he brings to the table. So we know what we're getting into. It's going to be a battle, and we're here for it. We're excited about it. We talk about respect, so we're going to respect our opponents, but we can't wait. We can't wait.
This is Conference Carolinas.